Good morning, everybody. All right, a little bit of a gap after a little bit of a nasty day. It certainly looks like we have the bearish turn in place. And wide range bar yesterday on the futures. Look at SPY and SPX since they're not the 24-hour charts. And review for those that are new in some of our terminology. So we're looking at the S&P futures here. That's a bearish wide range bar, no doubt. Oh, charts. I haven't messed that one up in a while. Okay. Here we go. And they should be up there. Okay. So S&P futures. That is a bearish wide range bar. And we don't have to measure it. We just look at that and say that bar is a lot bigger than the ones that preceded it. Right? That right there, right? That was a big bearish wide range bar. Big wide range bar, but coming off of the low, right? So this one was a wide range bar. This one was a wide range bar. That's a bounce into minor resistance. That's a wide range bar. And now here, prices come down to look to the left. And we get a wide range bar up. Right? And then this bottoming tail bar. It was a big mess, right? Up and down, up and down. Now that was a wide range bar that was negated pretty quickly. So obviously bullish price action. And then this is the only piece of the move. 1, 2, 3, let's call it 3.5 days of momentum, directionless, not directionless, directionful, directed momentum, whatever. Right, 3 bars up, but a 4th bar up into resistance where each bar opened where the prior day's close was, and it just continued to go higher as one big stream of demand into resistance. Then we had this 3 weeks of running in place, going nowhere. The pop to a new high or higher high within, and now a breakdown. Just looks like a peekaboo under that pivot low. And so I titled today, gaps. When is a gap large enough? Well, without measuring it, it's got to be large enough to negate what preceded it. And the S&Ps here aren't even coming close to negating what preceded it, which it would have to be gapping up here to the 20, something like that. Of course, we'll see where it ends. Right now, we've got a little retest pattern. It's created some resistance, these pivot highs. I don't know if there's anything to the left there. Yeah, okay. So it's got this little minor resistance area. And that's the first time, it kind of sliced through it yesterday like it wasn't there. And now we get this retest. So, at the open, maybe, if the techies, because Microsoft can continue to push higher, and if whatever that can possibly drag along with it in this push up. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then, of course, we look at where this will close at the end of the day. And our factory work says, hey, there's minor resistance. Let's see if it stays down here in the lower third, or does it get some legs and close deeply into this bar? So we don't know. Right now we see it's coming up. There was a little rejection there 5 minutes ago. May not be a big deal, but as it gets closer to this resistance area, we'll see if it rolls back over again. Okay. Spiders. Now let's see, where are they gapping to? There's that same little rejection bar. How far did they gap up? So as we look at what happened overnight, it gapped up a little less than halfway, and it fell back down. And then there was some news that came out, something better than expected, and it's opening in the bottom quarter or so into that wide range bar. And it stopped yesterday on the pivot low. Right? Look to the left, look to the left. You don't need trend lines, VWAPs, fib lines, whatever. Find tools. That's what we call them. Just simply look to the left. And it works. So now where does this end the day? Typically, it will just, hang around down here, give or take. And then we see what tomorrow brings. More earnings reports tonight. We'll see what can come about. But usually today will be a stabilization day. And Jake is sharing with me expected move is 30 handles. And so the average true range over the last 5 days now in SPX is about 36 points. About 36 points. So pretty close, pretty close. Let's see, where does that put us? Give or take. So it's gapping up a little bit. Let's see where we want to be. Above the top of the wide range bar should be safe. And I got 41.25. Jake's got 41.30. If there's some juice there, if it came up. I don't know if it was before. 41.30 is 40 by 50 cents right now. Is that right? 41.25. Oh, hold on. I got a second set of things here. 41.25 is 65 by 75. 41.30 is 45 by 50, which I would say is probably a no-brainer today. But with that premium, you got to go extra wide, I guess, to get something. So we'll see which way it moves. And down here, I got 40.30, which is into this, looks like an unfilled gap area. And the 50 MA, it's gapping up a little bit, so to drop down here, it could, but look over here. Let me point out kind of what I'm talking about and why. There's a wide range bar down, and the next day was a go nowhere kind of a day. And then the next day was the follow through, which is historically typical. Yeah, it's kind of like, let's call it market participants catching their breath, after a day like that. Like all of this time was like, oh, it's going to go up. It's going to go up. No, of course it's going to go up, buying the pullback. And I use 5 now, Alex. I used to use 3. I extended a little bit. We had that conversation a couple of weeks ago. So I pushed it out to 5 days. So right now it says, I don't know why I have TC 2000. It looks like 36.5. So it's not, I don't make it exact. And I just make these lines about what it is there to measure from where the open is and the close. And then take into consideration, what preceded it. And then is there a void? So if this was to be 2 days of follow through to the downside, and looking at like this range, yesterday's range was 55 points. The day before was about 25 points, give or take. And so to have another 50-point day, if we were to have that, let's just go like that, another 50-point day from the open would put it 40.21, if that's right. 40.21, 40.30, right? It would be below that strike. But of course, we would have a heads up that things are getting nasty to the downside. And we would see this continuing to trend lower, that little double bottom that we saw on the futures would negate itself. And look, is there a possibility that it goes down there? Well, where's our line in the sand? And you see, there's those pivot lows. That's where it stopped yesterday. And in here, there really isn't much of anything to stop it. And when we look to the left and say, well, we see like little pivot low over here. It's relatively insignificant compared to this topping pattern. Remember, this topping pattern, call it distribution, but somebody was buying it and it just wouldn't go higher. So now all of that accumulation becomes supply. You get this trending day, which stops at the next reference point. Maybe it rests, which would be the typical thing, a rest, and then, coming down somewhere to here, which would make sense unless it produces some kind of a pattern over here that says, no, that's not going to happen. And would accompanied by a deep retracement of some type. And same thing with this today. How far does it have to gap to be enough? Well, that relates to retracements. It's just happening on a gap that creates a void in itself, but it gaps way up. So whether it's a gap or whether it's 5 bars rallying up after slowing down, depth of retracement is a powerful concept. So this basically would suggest, somewhere down in here, eventually, where you just look to the left and see where's a cluster of bars where buyers might be comfortable. And if this does continue to follow through lower, you've got the 200 MA there, you've got the 50 MA there. So I'm not saying it has to go down here. And that's why we have a concept calling creating support. Well, in my definition, Tony, this is already in a downtrend, meaning how do I come to that conclusion without it being lower highs and lower lows, which it very well may be. Well, there's no pivots there. So my rule, as far as calling it a downtrend, is if this is going up, higher highs and higher pivot lows, and it slices through 2 of them in one fell swoop, even before it's got lower highs and lower lows, I view that as a downtrend because it's a power move. So that's my rule. Right? How do you create support? You create a pivot. So all of these rules, I have to get rid of that dot to this to work, this eraser. Hold on. It's probably a thing that says erase all, but whatever. So, and that rule is just based on common sense. So you need lower highs and lower lows, which you could say over here, you're starting to get lower highs and lower lows. But this is a power move cutting through all of these pivots. That needs to be respected. The other side of that thought, right? We all have to be balanced, is that this is the weakest link. That's a power bar, but there's no resistance. So, and that the idea behind staying in the lower quarter, the lower third of the wide range bar. So as it rests, there are going to be times where it tries to retrace and it can't. It builds up a new little resistance area over here. Buyers throw in the towel and say, oh, it's not going to bounce. I better get out. And those that are thinking, hey, where would I want to buy? And I think, oh, maybe the 50, maybe this gap area, maybe that 200, maybe down here. And so we'll see. Now we've got, we've been talking about this weekly chart potentially rolling over here. And now it's only Wednesday, the beginning of Wednesday, and we've got a red bar, a pattern here, call it what you want. Closing that way says it's going down. And I pointed out back here, I said, watch this bar with this little range expansion topping tail bar. That's a significant reference point if it closes below it. And it just barely did it yesterday. And we'll see what kind of follow through there is. All right, let's move on. Getting late here. So this is a gap of some significance. It's in the middle of the range, but now it's up into resistance and it's rolling back over. the weekly chart has not been totally negated at all, but it would take some work of jiggling around here to come back from yesterday. So everybody looks at this like things have changed. We've got a nasty red bar, and this big green bar did nothing other than a breakout failure. So the clues, right, bar by bar, tell us that institutions are selling on the rallies. And now they said, hey, time to hit the bid. And logical place would have been to come down here, but S&P's got there and nobody wanted to sell anymore yesterday. Russell 2000 can't even get off the mat, right? We got a little breakdown failure there. So this might be the one that maybe has some kind of a counter trend rally. And you can see it's got the void, how it fell yesterday. You can see it on the 15, and there's a little bottoming pattern there. The Dow that led the way up, big red bar down, same area of resistance. Yesterday we just went over all these patterns were pretty much the same. And they're somewhat the same, some little differences, but we see big red bars across the board. And we got silver just hanging there, and the dollar's down a little bit this morning, and that's not helping here. So these traders that were focused on this going up are a little hesitant right now. The euro may have sidestepped a bullet here with I don't know where this is going to end the day, but kind of a bear sandwich kind of pattern, but it's at this resistance. And this is a little extended, so it's not the best example for a bear sandwich, but that 3-bar, green bar, big red and big green up would meet the definition, but it's better that those happen after the beginning of a move. Yeah. Well, you're going to need a big stop if you're bullish on this, or a tight stop and potential to get wiggled out, unfortunately, with that kind of a pattern. So these kind of patterns, if this closes this way, it's got to keep going up. We'll see. Bitcoin, well, good day for Bitcoin, huh? That's helping the market. After that nasty crack, oil going lower. So some positive things going on here. We'll see how it follows through or not. There's your volatility index. We've been talking about that being down here for a while, lifting a little bit. So markets probably take a little breath here today, and we'll see where it ends the day. Well, yours, Dan. Oh, semiconductors had that crack yesterday, like the other things. So call them cracks in the wall. There's plenty of them out there. We'll see what happens today.
Are you sure you don't mean crackhead?
Well, some crackhead in the White House. I don't know about what wall.
There's a lot of them. So yeah, yesterday we said that would be my ideal bias is to get 1, 2, 3s. The Qs based on the big gap up is not a 1, 2, 3 because it's too deep in the yesterday's bar. So these 2 stocks, Google, Microsoft are 10% of the S&P. I'm not sure what percent of the Qs, but it's doing all the heavy lifting today. And I actually was shocked. I looked at the diamonds. I saw it going by the ticker, and it was only up like 50 cents. And so I looked at the Dow 30 to see what was dragging it down. Because with Microsoft up 21, I mean, that's amazing market cap. Gapping up here. Boeing up 6, Cream up a couple, Visa up a couple, and I don't see any drags. I don't see a single Dow stock down more than $1. So I'm scratching my head why the diamonds are not up more. Did you think about that, Greg? I mean, look at this shallow bounce, and we got some behemoths up huge. But it's a head scratcher to me because it's just a mathematical formula. It's 30 stocks, price weighted. So think about that because I don't have an answer. So yeah, Microsoft, amazing gap. Google, pretty flattish. We were, I was looking at this one for put spread, but there was no juice. Charlie Bravo alarm just went off here. Has earnings, a little buy setup. I see one print up here at 203. Charlie Bravo on another chart. Because that's a nice little buy setup if it triggers. We did 2 earnings trades yesterday selling puts. One is Texan, and looks like it's opening flat right here. It's up a little bit. So even with it's flat, we're going to get the volatility contraction. And so I set an alert saying let's bid whatever I said, a couple pennies to get out. If not, probably stop 5-minute low. We did Hilton. Put spread, I see a print up here at 149. We did the 130s. So bid a nickel, get out of that one. ADP here, earnings, bottom right, closing breakdown. This, I was hoping it was going to open more flattish. And then that'd just be a beautiful continuation, descending triangle. You got 2 little upside shakeouts, bearish weekly. So let's watch that for a call spread. And directional. Visa up, but no pattern. Texan just saw Charlie Bravo. It's the alarm went off. AMX, no pattern, but it's, well, 30-minute low. Could be a short. CMG's on fire here, 1900. Wow, but I don't know what to do with that. Oh, Alex, I saw you said Ether you're buying. Yeah, I had mentioned Riot and Mara are very similar to that. But yeah, let's put Ether. Yeah, I like that too. Aluminum, we were talking about doing a put spread yesterday, the 195s into earnings, but it was too spready. Opening flat, so I really don't see any good pattern there. EMPH, this is on my list of excessive gap. Let's see what it does in 30 minutes. And so that's a solar, so tan is going to get whacked here today. You see it down, wow, look at that, down at 72. So solar is getting hit. I know Fizzlers this week also. This is kind of the leader of the sector. EQR, I don't see any pattern. You're gone. AGR, up a bit at prior high, no interest. Tomo is another one I'm going to watch as an excessive gap. See where it's gapping down here. I have no idea what it's going to do at the open. I'll tell you in 30 minutes though. Boeing, I think they had a bigger loss than expected, but it was the forward guidance they kind of like 208. So that's a deep gap into resistance. So put spread idea under yesterday's low. AMT's flat. I don't see any good pattern. ADP, we just talked about. BSX. Gapping up, but they're right in the middle of that ugly red bar and no interest. CME, I only see one print up here at 191. We'll come back to you. Humana. Not bad. This is a watch. Definitely for a 490 put spread also. Yeah. Hey, you know what, Steven? I got an email from somebody yesterday. And they were all excited. They're like, Dan, can you believe the $2 puts were a bid 5 cents into earnings? And I said, do not touch it. I said, that is total, what I referred to and the industry refers to also, it's not my term, is tail risk. The further, the stocks move in a bell curve where statisticians put their number of standard deviations. So let's just say that $2 is 9 standard deviations away. You're only taking in a nickel for assuming that catastrophic risk, and it's not worth it on something in the news with a regional bank that looks like this. I think I read something that people are predicting this thing might, be in the garbage can by Friday. So I wouldn't touch that thing. Gulf Delta, no pattern, but the whole sector looked lower. We were stalking it on this breakdown with a sell setup on the weekly. NSC is a railroad, no pattern. If it takes out yesterday's low in 30 minutes, it looks lower. Transports got whacked yesterday with look at transports courtesy of UPS. I'm watching this. I would like it to sell off another $4 or $5, get it even more cooked, and then look for an intraday reversal to sell a put spread. APH just trades like garbage. We'll come back to it. Hess up a little bit. No interest. TEL 118 and change. That's an ugly gap. No pattern. Hilton's the one we sold a put spread on. Or naked puts rather, the 130s. O'Doffel 320 down at prior low. Otis, I don't see a gap. CVE looks lower, but it's kind of getting near its target. RCI, that's a buy setup. So if this opens flat, I like it. I'm going to set an alarm at 47.50 just because I don't see any prints. FTV, that's a condor candidate. That is a big friggin' sideways mess. So total condor. Oh, I also said with Bowen's gap up, this is a condor idea also. If we can do the 220s, 195. So, when I throw these ideas out, if I always accept help at the open, if anybody wants to help me look at these, I had my hands full at the open. Give no pattern, little failed buy setup, which is not atypical when they get this climactic. So that's kind of expected, and then it sets up a measured move lower. Tech whipping around, but also a buy setup. So that's worth watching. 30-minute high on tech. This, no interest unless it takes the week's high out and then possible put spread. Dove, no interest, but if it opens flat, maybe shorting yesterday's low after 10-15 minutes. No pattern. This one's getting cooked, but momentum is down. I just had an alarm on JCI go off. This is a short idea. I think Sam I am mentioned this. So 10-minute low, I like this. JCI, I had a RCI alarm. This was another earnings thing that I set the alarm at 47.50. So 10-minute high, that's not bad. Let me write these down so I don't forget them. RCI, because I'm like added thumbnails on my other computer already. All right, so I got through all those earnings stocks right there. We're gonna have to wait for our EMPH. I said I'm watching, not touching it here, just watching it. ADP. All right, we got to cancel the call spread because the gap down's too big. I was trying to sell a call spread on this, and I have to cancel it because if for some stupid reason it rebounds and gets filled, then we don't want it, because then that would be too bullish. Yeah, yesterday I mentioned Tesla under yesterday's low. Definitely I like. Wow, Texans 22 cents. That's bigger than I thought. Yeah, but yeah, I like Tesla. You can check a call spread also. Let's kill. Let's yeah. All right. So Texans stop out because I put the stop under yesterday's low. So let's just kill it. Take our money. I don't like the price action right now. Still got $5 of comfort, but take the money. Out. Hilton. Let's see if you're open yet. You are open, but it's ludicrous spreads. So let's. I'm going to bid 15 cents to get out. All right. Yeah, I like Ether. See the Greg, can you help me? Well, okay, I thought I had delayed data because I see it at 9:25, but I see a topping tail here, so that kind of threw me off. But that's pre-market is why. So let's try to buy it on a pullback. I'm going to say let's try to buy it at 9:10. The weekly is a 180 breakout failure though, so it's not a no-brainer. It's just a little. It's just a maybe
I
one.
was just going to tell you that.
Yeah, it's like a
About the weekly, but this is a good pattern that often does some kind of jiggling around. It's a good spot to get it, but when you say buy it at 9:10, I would suggest you rather buy a third and look to add, because something like this pattern just typically doesn't go straight up. Not like you, oh my God, this is a great pattern. It's a nice pattern with the moving averages clustered and the 200 flattening out and the others turning up and all of that. But buying a third, just buy it. Might come into your 10 cent thing, but
ELS up alarm. I like this, not doing it right now, but I set alarms early. That's a nice kind of little bull flag right there. Q's reversing here, so chill in a little bit. But yeah, that looks good. I'll put it on the list. Ellis. All right, Charlie Bravo I had on the list. That was a gap and go, but nice pattern there. Charlie Bravo. I would do that. There's no weekly puts and spreading, but I like it as a directional. I just don't want to chase. Yeah, but Tesla, I said I like. I mean, if it were to go sideways until after 3, this would be a pounding late day breakdown setup. It's right here at the bottom of this range right now on the 15-minute chart, but definitely looks lower to me. We said that yesterday. I don't know how earnings are gonna affect, like, unrelated things. Like, you know, we got Apple and is Meta this week too. The Red Roof Inn. Yeah, Red Roof Inn looks good. Yeah, Chuck's holding, but still just doesn't mean it's a tradable pattern for me. All right, Twilio. So Greg getting out at $8, yesterday's low in retrospect, but we were going for the home run on a half lot. So let's move stop days high, 54.39. ENPH is getting hurt badly. $61s now. 61s are 680. Yeah, JCI, yeah, let's look at it. Yeah, this is what I'm doing on Ether. JCI. Yeah, because now under the low of the day would be, yep, on Green Bar Nord, kind of like that BBY. I'll set an alarm 5780 ELS up alarm. 5780. ELS looks good. 717, it's a REIT. Market's just iffy. Let's watch 30-minute high. All right, ADP bounced here. 80. Oh, ADP though was a short, so let me put ELS there. Tomoa is watching for a bounce, no pattern. ENPH is in great pain. I'm not touching that thing now. UPS, Boeing slopping around. Oh, I gave Riot as a put spread. Let's see what that is now. All right, let's see. It's really coming in harder than I like. Let me check the juice bar. And 8 for next week. And 8 midpoint right now is 25, so we're still not in it, but I'll watch it. Yeah, I can't believe these Hilton. Wow, 130s. I was bidding 20 cents to get out earlier. Now it's 40 by 65. For the 130s. That is crazy. That is still pretty massive juice. And it's just an inside bar. Man. All right, I'm going to change mine to 25 and just leave it for now. Yeah, I like PAGs. Yeah, that's a great 30-minute high. Yeah. In fact, let's just buy the high. Yep, I like that one. Daily, weekly. Looks great. Ellis is there. PAGs here. Check earnings. 614, that's software. Check puts also. I got the 7.5 strikes are bid 0, so nothing to do there. Hey, today MT Live greater than 100% retracement. All right, it just hit 938. Yeah, nice find there. I like it. Willio up alarm, so take our money on that. 61 puts. 660. Tesla still weak. And Greg, how about puts on this for next week?
On Tesla?
Yeah,
Well, why not do it this week? Or you mean expiration next week?
right.
Yeah.
They are so friggin' juicy. All right. 15 million already. Less than 20 minutes. ELS, so you came in hard. Yeah, so I was waiting for 30 minutes on that one. UMBF. I'd rather wait for the afternoon, see if it can stay up here, but yeah, like the breakdown failure. ATVI, the UK is not liking their merger. Charlie Foxtrot, that was Sam. Hey, Boar, here's another one I like under the low. This was yours, Sam, right? Another little bull sandwich, tiny green bar ignored, price void. $6.86. Charlie Bravo's getting slammed back down. It was bullish earlier. Pretty good there. Well, I get Charlie Bravo. Forget about CLSK. I said 30-minute high, so let's hold off and wait for some type of gap fill first. I don't need tags anymore. Boar just hit. Sam, have you ever been called a boar by one of your dates? See, Alex, let him answer because there's two ways he can answer the. He might be thinking animal or adjective, and I'm not sure which. Yeah, let me look, Thomas. Of course. Success. Yeah, we're in it already, but yeah, it's rallying to the gap fill here, Thomas. So I'd wait. I'd let it go sideways before buying it, but if the markets start selling off, then sure, you can buy yesterday's high. Because then it might not wait for you. Yeah, not a huge, it wouldn't be a swing for me, but day trade Sam is fine. And Carvana alarm. If it closes like this, it's a bear 1, 2, 3. What's his cousin? KMX. KMX is holding a lot better. All right, JCI. All right, I have an alarm. SJM. See, I was watching this with Thomas as a 1, 2, 3, but it's 50% retracement now. So I'm just going to move on. Altera under the low, under yesterday's low. Pan W. 15-minute can go either way. Southeast still looks lower. Google. Yeah, it's a beast. Microsoft. That's an amazing gap. We actually have a put spread on Amazon that we were going to hold into earnings, 98, 93. We're pretty much break even right now. All right, UNH, let's cancel. Let's not do it here. It's still on my list, Austin, but I don't like doing things at the top of the range. So let's just keep an eye on it. The two ways to get on board, Austin, are let it break out and buy a pullback and reversal on support, or number 2, bullish price action at resistance. Look at this wire having a bad day. SAI had a nice gap and go. Look at the pre-market strength. Frick, that's in a death trends. I mean, remember I was saying on multiple times, like who the heck would want to keep their money in a bank like that with such a bad reputation? And so, of course, more banks can go under. All right, so here's an example of the bear gap got negated. But now it's at resistance. Riot. I was looking for a put spread. I don't think it got filled there. Red roof in, flopping around, but bullish. Tech might set up here as a buy setup. Right here. Thing, gap up, buy setup, 15-minute. A buy setup daily and 15. Diamond's the weakest here, threatening the lows. Tech. 43 is only 12 cents on spreading. But keep an eye on this. Let's see if we can get a potent reversal. I got it in the bottom right. Gib, that's me. At all-time highs. I don't think Sam has said that in a long time about his stock. RCI was on my buy and watch list. That just rocketed though. Otis, no pattern. Doffel, ouch. Down 19. That's not helping the transports. NSC, railroads part of that too. Humana, junk, CME, junk, ADP. Man, everything's junk. Boeing put spread for Friday. I would do the 202s. Hey, not bad. $5 wide, 40 cents. That ain't bad at all. You know, I prefer 50 and more to get my 10%, but now it's 43. You like that, Craig?
What spread?
Yeah, for Friday.
What was the value, Dan?
202 Boeing.
Below those, if it's below yesterday's low, should be fine.
No, it's like the opening price, 202.50.
Today's open?
No, yesterday's open. Look at, can you see my horizontal line here on the 15-minute chart?
Yeah.
It's like right there.
Okay.
All right, I'll watch it.
That means do it now, everybody.
What?
Everybody, that means do it now. When you say watch it, you're going to watch it.
Well, it's because of the market here is not, it's iffy. But yeah, it looks fine.
I don't think the market's going to fall apart today.
All right.
Maybe tomorrow. I mean, that's generally, the way. SPX is setting up textbook 1, 2, 3. Of course, we got the whole day for it to do whatever it's going to do.
Wow. What the heck happened there, Patrick? Wow, good thing we took our profit down here into weakness. That if we get a 1, 2, 3, it was not earnings.
Seen the video, Dan? Gapped up to the top of the red bar. That's more along the lines of what kind of gap is enough. It still could be topping, but to gap to the top of a red bar. Maybe you can do a put spread at the end of the week.
All right. Yeah, NVIDIA 260, 255 is 51 cents.
You'll know tomorrow.
Hey,
don't
Mark,
think-
I'm not sure what you mean. What do you mean time frame orders indicated? I don't know what you mean. Sorry. Do you, Greg?
No. I mean, Marcos, we usually, not usually, I'd say virtually every time, we start with a daily chart to do the analysis for credit spreads.
Yeah, Mara looks good. Yeah, I like it. It shouldn't come under this 15-minute pivot. $9. Tesla low alarm. Oh, sure, we might have a nice gain already.
Well, a swing trade could be open for a couple of days if it didn't trigger that day. But Dan will say if it was negated.
Oh, if he's talking about the order. Oh, day. Yeah. Thanks, Alex. Yeah, Mark, is day trade always, unless it is a target and I have a limit for a target. And I say, let me see if I get filled at XYZ, and I put a GTC in, but opening orders are always big. Again, unless you don't mind being assigned something and you genuinely want to get filled. So yeah, just go with what I said. Charlie Bravo sure gave it up. Okay, and X, I don't know what to do with that. There's no reversal. The gap down, you got topping tails and the gap fill on the 15. That's a mess. This one's much better if it closes like this, Thomas. JCI alarm. There must be earnings on DPZ. It's big juice. Yep, tomorrow. See how Thomas is trying to suck me into an earnings trade. But we can look at it tomorrow. Maybe we'll. Yeah, actually. $300s or $1. Yeah, that's interesting. MDB, it's extended. I don't like buying from the top, but I mean, this would be a good 1, 2, 3, Thomas. So I'll put it on the list, and obviously a put spread under yesterday's low would be fine also. Two tens, 14 cents. DPZ. Oh, JCI too. Yeah, let's sell this. Sell setup on daily, weekly. Yeah, let's short today's low. Stop yesterday's high. $57.66. Yeah, let's see. It's triggering right now. Well, did it trigger by a penny? That's fine. No, it didn't trigger. It's under 57.66. No, no worries. I kind of eyeballed it, thought it did too, but that's fine if you're in it. Market's falling here, you can get price improvement. That's totally fine. But I'll just play it the way I told them under the low. Thanks, Austin. I knew that thing's kind of been on probation. Costco little alarm too. The directional, I'm so glad we got out of them. We still got $5 for our stop, but so glad got out of the call spread at the darn high yesterday. Yeah, no, Expedia doesn't look good at all. Yep, 91.87. Midpoint right now, 68. And our stop is 91.38. All right. It looks horrible, but um, I think let's go in intelligent hope mode. But I wouldn't even use the word intelligent. I'd say hope mode, period. Yeah, thanks, Neil. I'm looking at Hilton here. Um, and it's getting spready is the problem. I hate this. I was trying to get out at the open. I was bidding 50 cents. All right, I just bid 55 on Hilton just because of the stupid spreads, and I got out. It's and you don't have to because it's so far away. But it's just I just am not going to turn it into a loser with the stupid spreads. And I gave it a tight stop anyway of the 144 and change. Yeah, let's just get out. I don't want to. I hate the spreads. Yeah, my JCR alarm went off. So both of these. Six. Trillio. Greg Twilio, we made 70% return on the puts. We'll take it.
Looks lower. When what? Lots of 1, 2, 3 setting up. That's got a big rounding top.
Definitely. Yeah, see if it can go sideways until after 3. And then you just got to make the determination if make triggers earlier if you want to nibble. But it, made a new low and stabilized. So ideally, after 3 is better. Would be a great call spread also. Thanks. No juice, 197s are only 20 cents, but yeah, there should be a ton of 1, 2, 3s today. Regional banks continue their slight. Look at KRE, looks as a 1, 2, 3 also. Well, we call it a minor one because yesterday's really not a wide range bar, but looks horrible. And look at this tech bottom right. I said watch for a turn here. It's a long-legged doji though.
Let's see what these banks do. Look at PAC-W. That was up nicely pre-market and at the open.
Mm-hmm. Spider. Yeah. But. Yeah, I said yesterday that so many things look like they were headed to the 50. I wish we had a bigger void though. I see ENPH finally stabilizing a tad, but still nasty downtrend, got no interest. Look at the volume though in 1 hour. Oh, I remember you mentioned that and I forgot to look at it. Yeah, it's kind of a head and shoulders. Yeah. Would have been 15-minute low, green bar ignored. Sure. Yeah, looks good. Riot and Mara coming in. Gave this as a put spread. It's still not filled. The 10-8. It's 27. And I wanted 33. I'll go ahead and put an offer out. IWM, we're still. I said bid 20 cents for half. That's why next week. Midpoint right now is 26. Sam, your borer is slow move down. We will take it slow and steady. Microsoft's holding very well. L or LOW? Oh, that Home Depot gave it up. Yeah, LOW's been stronger. So why are these pulling in so hard? Military week today with some of those earnings things. Let me clean some of this up now. Oh, Greg, your HA had a little blast off today for some reason. Like generic. We were talking about a big old bull flag yesterday. I either didn't set an alarm or I missed it, one or the other. But that's why you all have to help me. I can't watch everything. We were talking about a put spread yesterday in Mister, but I looked and I liked the pattern for it. It was spready. But look at we can even keep this on our list of doing for next week. In fact, I'll look right now. Because now we have a no-brainer reference point, 280s. And there's beautiful juice. Let me check earnings. 5-1, so that's next week. That's the problem. What about the 200s? 200s, 9 cents by 94. That's so. Thank you for nothing. And let me go back to this pizza man. Uh, 302.50 is 95 140. So you can try 115 if you're so inclined. It's the 27th. Tomorrow. I don't know if it's pre or post, but that's some definite buying into earnings. 302's 10% away. It has a $21 expected move. It's a good pattern for it. Very good pattern for make it put. Triple M had earnings yesterday, and look, it gave it up. Look at that. It went from bullish to bearish in one day. UPS. I'm still going to watch this thing. Hey, McDonald's is 1, 2, 3 for call spread. There's no juice for next week either. So no option trade, but we can still short it for a day trade. Set an alarm at 290. That could be a nice late day breakdown. After 3, just pound the low. Day trade, I like it. Lips still bobbling around, turn the bottom. Snow. I missed that. It was not earnings. So what happened to the snowman? This has good juice. We can do a 2 DTE. $5 ride is 40 cents. Let's watch that into the close. Now, what about this D-Dog thing also? Oh, wait, snow, we can even do next week. Snow. 524. It was not earnings. There's juice on this too for Friday. $67, $64. It's a power bar. Yeah, I think we just gotta live with it. Boeing, yeah, took out the low. Yeah, the one got sloppy, that's for sure. All right, what's the other one I said? Not spot. That spot's a long idea too. Snowman. Let's see what this one looks like. That one's retracing now, so we gotta watch here, the CLSK middle chart. I was looking for a more bullish reversal here, but it's not giving it to me. This block also gapped up with the some of these Bitcoin things. We have a put spread on net, has earnings tomorrow. See ya, Sam. Yeah, I'm gonna get up here and stretch my legs too. That's not bad right now, even for a day trade. Look, red bar ignored 180 and a 15-minute buy setup. That ain't bad at all. Cloudflare, but again, day trade only, and it's earnings tomorrow at 11 o'clock. I'm not crazy about it. It's in a downtrend and sloppy though. What about the old hood? Hood's a mess. Hey, Ether is a penny away from my 910 target. Let's do 9, 9, 12 is fine. All right, blocks actually acting better. And this one is options. 19s. Hey, this could be what I call a kamikaze four. I already have it on my list. All right, this is an ETF. All right, gonna give them. Let's give a third lot. Greg, you there?
Yes.
Are you still on YouTube for some reason?